Hello folks and welcome back to the channel. Today we're at the WeatherTech Laguna Seca Raceway. It's one of those days. We've got that lap time challenge to do and we kind of lost gold a lot quicker than we thought we was. And at the end of the day this is going to be a much harder test than we thought it was going to be. So I'm coming back today to just show you my progress and where I've got to, but with a new skin by JB. Thank you very much, JB. As you can see, here it is, all themed up for the WeatherTech Laguna Raceway. It's a stunning looking skin, but the car looks unusual. That would be that forward rake stance as produced by Kai 25 setup, and that's the one we've used today. But let's have a look at the car for now. Wheels chosen by JB, not by me, and they made such a massive difference. These are going to be the big wheels. They're going to be the biggest size possible. And as you can see, G29 sponsoring, thank you very much, and YouTube just covering the fact that I'm a YouTuber. But it's a very simple, very elegant skin, thank you. And there's the time we've got, a 1:29.429. We're in the top 4,000, and that wasn't a bad effort, I didn't think. But here's the setup, Kai's setup. It is pretty much what it is there, except for one thing, negative camber angle. You can pause this, folks, and you can make it, you can copy down the settings. But that negative camber angle I changed from the more extreme to just 1.5 on each. Gear settings are critical. This will change how the car goes, and if you were running first gear in most corners, or the tight ones that I was, you'll now be running second, and it makes all the difference to get out the corner much quicker. I also changed my existing setup on the back end here just by that one factor. I moved the weight from the rear to the front, and again it changed the car significantly. It stopped the car sliding out, along with the changing wheels, etc. So let's move on. Here we are. We're going to make it to the track. So 1:29.429 as we said, and this is about 1 hour 18 minutes of footage compressed into about 16 minutes. I'm going to do what I always do with you folks. I'm going to take you through all of the laps where I beat the time, and you can see how I beat it and where I beat it. This is just my banker lap, and this is what this setup changed for me. How often do you come back to these challenges, have a whatever time you've got, and you come so close to beating that time, A, without a ghost, and B, just on your first lap out? How is this a thing? But you can see it there, a 1:29.429. We're doing the natural lines. I must be relaxed. I've had quite a cool, chilled day at work. I've got lots of work done. I've come home, I've done some other bits and pieces, and I've just got straight stuck into this. I've actually uploaded a video, edited a video, uploaded it and put it online, and that's for tomorrow, but this one will come out tonight. So as we come up to this corner, this one's quite a tricky one, but you've got to get in, and I'm nowhere near the apex, if you'll see, but the car turns beautifully. Charging up the hill, you've got to spot your braking point, which is just before the red and whites. Cut into this apex. Notice we're in second, not first gear, and we're changing up to third just as we get to the bottom of the first hip. We're actually sliding through that apex and just splitting the front wheels with that red curb. Third gear for this corner. I think we can get in tight on there, but this is my opening lap. This is my banker. This is the one where I'm going to set my ghost, and I'm coming around this corner thinking this feels really good. The car accelerated really smoothly out that corner. This is feeling really good. A 1:29.448, just 0.19 seconds outside of my best lap to date. So here we go, lap 5. I've put some other laps in. I've not been so far off. It's been pretty consistent. I'm just looking to see and feel. So the ghost is from the first lap today, not the 1:29.429. We're into that apex much tighter. You can see the rake on the rear of that car now, so you can see just how unusual this setup is, and we're used to something like that from the early days of GT. But look at that, we clipped the curb on the first lap. This time we're just pushing it around the corners, tucking in fourth gear for that corner. It used to be third, but the car loves it. It actually looks to stay in that gear and it accelerates well out the corner. Braking on the 3, the cone for 3, that's the corner marker. Getting into the apex, following the ghost, charging up the hill. We're at roughly 0.4 seconds behind it, so we're keeping pace. All we have to do is close up a tenth of a second, and we've got a new lap time. And this is the 6th lap of the day. This is unheard of for me. This is how much of a game changer this setup is. I know this video doesn't get out to many people, so maybe only a couple of hundred watchers. I'd love this one to be able to go quite so far, because we're going to do quite well tonight, folks. If this is what we're going to produce, we're going to do well. Look how much we closed. We've just got to keep with this ghost. We've just got to accelerate with it, and we're doing. So we're going to be about 0.2 seconds better off. There we go, 1:29.310. So we're already faster. But what I haven't deliberately done is shown you the leaderboard where we were. We were 3rd or 4th at the start of the day, having been 3rd or 4th when we finished. And this one's going on for another lap, so lap 7 is going to be faster as well. Just run onto the rumble strip and we're really close to the ghost here. What I do is what I would prefer is I make a mistake on every lap, and a mistake that I can catch up on. Here we go, we just improved slightly but lost out coming out of that corner. Every time we make a mistake, there's something we can improve on, and if we make a mistake and better the lap, we're doing so well. And that's why I also believe you should chase your own ghosts, not somebody else's, because you know where you've made the mistakes and you know how you can get better. A nice dive into that corner, look, with no opposite locks. I think the key thing I haven't shown you tonight is my setup. So just while this is going on, we are using traction control 1, default ABS, and we're using the counter steer on strong. The counter steer helps significantly. Look at that, we're back up the back end of the ghost, crossing the line. 1:29.230, almost another tenth gone, which is pretty good. In 7 laps we've knocked off 2 tenths. On to lap 9 now, coming through the finish from the previous lap, which wasn't too tremendous. A 1:29.675. There was a time when I was running these laps where I couldn't get in the 1:29s, and now we're knocking them off virtually every lap. It isn't going to be long, folks, before we start to see a 1:28, and I'm thinking, I'm doing alright here. This setup is actually a winner. It suits my driving style, which we're going to talk about in a couple more laps, or over the next couple of laps. If you can see how much we drifted round that corner. But here's the thing, folks, this is the key bit to this test, is your braking, just like in Barcelona in the Porsche. The key bit to this braking is braking to the point where you don't let the ABS modulate the brakes. If you'll notice, we do very little braking to the maximum. We're only braking to about 2/3 of the brake travel. Well, initially we put a large lump of brake in, but then we back it off and we just let the brake fade in, or we fade it out using a technique called trail braking. We'll see if we can show you as we come to this final corner here, which is again going to be a gain in time. Here we go, running down the corner, the brake indicators on the left, the maximum, the ABS is actually cutting in there, but then for the last bit down to the apex we lift the brake pressure off, but we're still braking. We accelerate way out the corner, 1:29.104, so we've knocked off 3 tenths in 10 laps, where we did 74 laps the day before and couldn't close it down. So we finished that little stint, 10 lap stint, on a 1:29.104, which is already moving us up the list, I believe. A possible 1:28.722. Wow. 1:29.104 takes us into almost the top 2,500. There we are. We've just leapfrogged Azza. Oh, just up behind JB. He's another tenth ahead. And Mr. Maguire out there in the next second. in the 128s, which is where we want to be. I think we're going to need to be in the 128s to make sure this is a gold, because we've still got 9 days to go at this, folks, and it's going to be a tough challenge. But we're almost in the top 2,500, which makes me feel good about myself. We're just going to make sure we save the replays for both of those, and we're going to back that up. Let's get it back out on the track, and here we go. Straight off the bat, feeling confident with a 1:29.104. Not forgetting that was 10 laps, and this is an hour and 18 minutes of footage cut down to make this. So feeling quite good, feeling quite happy, because I know what's coming. But here we go, charging down. There's Azza with his knob. Any change in the time trial, and I'm resisting the temptation to let him know. Everybody's keen to know how we're getting on. There's a good little bit of rivalry within the group of guys that join us online. So if you want to be part of that, you know how to do it. My friends list. Do me on PSN. Pop me a friend's request, Widdowmaker 10144, and you can get part. You can be part of this snowball, getting faster and faster, folks. If you want to get faster, you can join us. See how we came through that corner sideways and it slowed us down, but we're level with our ghost. Turning in just on the 2 now. We've changed that. Coming through that apex a little bit slow. Nice try, says the number plate. I think that's right. Braking just a little bit later into second. We used to do that in first gear. Leap down the hill, up into third, chase the ghost. Now make the car slide here. There it is, the car slides around the corner. Apply the power and get it on. Change down to third, into the apex, back up to fourth. Charge down for the corner, brake just after the curb starts, down to third, second, and then clip that curb and accelerate out. Don't worry about that gravel on the right, don't stray into it, just keep driving. There we go, folks, this could be a 1:28.919. Happy days. We're actually into that 1:28. When that looked impossible, we'd hit a wall, we weren't going anywhere. A 1:28.919. Now, telling the truth, there was probably 20 minutes of running there trying to get over my ability to actually conquer that and get a good lap in. I was falling over myself coming to the top of the corkscrew, kept messing it up at the corkscrew, kept putting it off into the grass, kept getting to the back last corner, struggling to get round the last corner, which was a real bane. And there we are, a 1:28.609 now is our potential fastest lap, and we're into the top 2,000. A 1:28.919, top 2.77. But let's go again, folks. I was on a roll. It was feeling great. There was no point stopping at this point because we were still improving. We're still feeling that there's time in this setup. Braking into turn 1. We're actually braking level with the first cone on the right hand side, the first corner marker. And we're actually driving this slightly different now than we used to in the last video. We're still doing the same technique. We're braking into the corner, letting off for the apex, then applying the throttle nice and gently, evenly, giving it the power. You can see that on the right hand side. Buried the throttle. Traction control still cutting in. That's vital for us, the way I drive, with the on-off throttle technique. Look how much that ghost was sliding, and we slid in exactly the same way, so we know coming around that corner we can get better next lap, even if we beat the ghost this time round. Just hitting that apex, charging up the hill, and he was faster, the ghost, that time. But let's see what we can do on the brakes at the top of the hill. Brake at the normal point, down to second. Dive in. You want to do a left turn, then a right turn, and that's all. If you're doing left turn, right turn, right turn, you're not going to do it. It needs to be 2 smooth manoeuvres. You need to do a left turn and a right, and that's all you need to do to get through that corner. Down to third, back up to fourth, as quick as you can to get that acceleration going. Try not to change into fifth, down to third, down to second, close in on the ghost, hit the apex, and accelerate away with him. The closer you can stick to him, the better chance you've got of getting an improved time. A 1:28.851. Oh, we've took half a second off the time tonight. We didn't quite do it on lap number 2. Lap number 3 looks like we're gonna do well. In all fairness, lap 1 of this stint wasn't successful. We'd quit out and started again, And this is lap 3 of this stint. The gains were starting to come. Bigger gaps between them, I must admit. But we were still gaining, we were still feeling good, we were still chasing the ghost down. Let's see if we can see a purple sector there, look. Let's see if we can see some sliding wide. We slid wide there and we put the tail out. Look at the ghost go away from us. Let's see if we can improve on that. We know he makes a mistake here. So we cut into that corner nicely and we caught him by, oh, at least a car length there, I'd say. Getting into this corner here now. Hitting that corner perfectly. Back on the throttle, chasing him up the hill. Followed that wide line. Get back across to the left hand side on the brakes at the top of the hill, down to second. Cut across that apex. We slightly oversteered. Look, you saw that. Get after it again, third gear. Let's see if we can slide the car around this corner. Get back on the gas and power it. Keep the car in a straight line. Use all the available road, down to third. Back up to fourth. We've got the car sliding beautifully. We're back up within a car's length. Look at that. We were 3 to 4 car lengths back. We're now back on his tail. Beautiful. Keep the accelerator down. Get him out that corner. Chase him across the line. This could be an improvement again. And a 128.777. That's over half a second gained, folks. That's 0.6 of a second. We're a 429. Almost 0.7 of a second. But it doesn't end there. This is why I think, and why I said at the start of this, that I don't think we'll be visiting this test again, folks. I think this is going to see us safe and secure. That is normally the commentator's curse, and something will happen, won't it? Something will. Somebody will do a lightning lap, but I don't know how. Most of the people I race with say this is the toughest challenge yet. It's a hard one. Well, try my setup, folks. It's not my setup, it's Kai's. I give it to Kai. Kai is one of the people I started watching this game on back in GT Sport. Even though I played the game a lot, I did used to like to watch him. See that mistake we made on the previous lap? Look how much we're gaining here. See what we can do through this corner. If we can get this one right, we can pull away again. We do. We get the acceleration early, and look at us charging up the hill. It still wasn't perfect that last lap, was it? Get around this apex. Are we just going to lose out to our ghost? He comes alongside us. Braking at the top of the hill, down to second gear. Just feathering that brake at the end, just half power. Dive down the hill, get back in front of the ghost. Almost. Fourth gear, slide it. Back on the power. Got to get the car straight. I got that corner so well last time, didn't I? Down to third, back up to fourth, charge it through. Look at that, he just accelerates away. That just goes to show how good the latter part of the last lap was last time round. Let's charge for the line. Let's see if we can keep within 0.4. A 128.718. And to be honest, folks, I did about a dozen more laps. And that's where we got to, a 128.718. And a new skin. Again, thank you JB for the race suit and helmet, much appreciated, pal. I do like it when you do stuff. So 128.718 into the top 2.53%. There we are, top of the tree. We've put everybody beneath us. We're giving you something to chase, guys. If you're in my friends list and you're pushing hard and you want something to suggest a setup change, you can use that one. Almost in the top 1500, I think. No, we're in the top 1200. Happy days. Well, thank you very much, folks. I really appreciate you watching. We'll see you on the next one. Take care.